Chill my muckles, back with the third episode of Positive Podcast. Got one of my old friends, one of my old work colleagues, the bro Kev. Haven't seen him for a long time, haven't talked to him for a long time, so I'm pretty excited about this one and just checking in on him, seeing what he's been up to, and I guess tell you guys a little bit about himself and where he comes from and stuff. So we'll just start off with your name, uh, what you do for work. Do you have kids?
Yeah. Oh well, everyone. You already introduced me. Your name's Kev. I've been a chef since 2010, I think. Yeah, 2010. It's been a long time being a chef. Moved from Africa to New Zealand when I was at like 10, 11. I moved when I was in 2000,
Yeah.
and I was like, it was a massive difference compared to like Africa. Compared to I was very surprised and what. Like even when I used to go to the dairy and get lollies, all the cars were unlocked, and I was like, "Hey," because I was like, "Okay, that was a
Yeah,
bit weird," but yeah, I'm definitely glad like I grew up in New Zealand
yeah,
because I was probably like 90% sure that if I grew up in Zimbabwe, I'd probably be dead. Or,
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
like
what?
worse.
How old? So, if you moved over in 2000 and was it 2000? You said you moved over.
Yeah, yeah,
So 21 years ago.
yeah.
How old are you now?
31. 30, yeah,
Oh
31.
yeah. So you would have been
Yeah,
10.
yeah, yeah. You had me guessing there for a second, bro. I was like, "Hey." Yeah. But yeah, bro. Yeah. I would have been
Yeah,
10.
10
Yeah.
years old. Bro,
Yeah.
that's pretty crazy. Hey, what was it like moving over from Zimbabwe, bro? Especially being so young, it would have been hard to like leave your friends and shit that you made over in Zimbabwe. And then,
Oh yeah,
coming over
definitely.
at such a young age to have to like, pretty much like re-establish all these friendships and shit. How'd you find it?
Yeah, it was it was real tough. I think when especially when I went to school because I started an intermediate and it was like way different than what it was supposed to be in Africa. Because in Africa you had to wear like a uniform with a tie. Everything had to be
Yeah.
on point. If your socks were down, you'd be in trouble for not being like, yeah, you get a hiding.
Yeah.
There was our principals used to have like sticks where they'd like you come to the office and then they'd
Yeah.
beat you pretty much type of thing. Yeah,
Fucking hell.
our teachers, if you do even if like homework wise you spelled something wrong, they'd pinch you. And they had this thing with like they had wooden rulers and you put your knuckles out and then they just smack you in the knuckles.
Hell.
Yeah, it was pretty rough, but like
Yeah.
I learned from young respect is respect. Like yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because what do you want to tell us a little bit about growing up in Zimbabwe? Because like
Oh yeah.
obviously you always knew that we always thought you were from Fiji, bro.
Yeah,
And then
no,
we learned that you were
everyone,
from.
yeah. Yeah, everyone was like, "Are you from Fiji or from India, bro?" And I was like, "Hey, I'm from none of those places, bro."
Yeah, so
But
it'll
yeah,
be interesting to find out, how you sort of experienced the
yeah,
first 10 years of your life in Zimbabwe.
yeah. I feel like heaps of people think that, especially like Zimbabwe or places in centralish Africa, are all like mud huts and wildlife
Mm,
everywhere around you. Yeah, but it's not. It's like it's exactly like it's exactly like Auckland or Hamilton.
yeah.
Minus our fences are like 12 feet high. They have electric
Mm,
razor wire on the sides just because of thieves.
yeah.
We don't have pet dogs. We have guard dogs. So
Yeah.
we don't really play with the dogs type of thing. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. And funny story. I was when I was young. I was stupid clearly, and went up to one of the guard dogs and he was sleeping, and
Oh,
I just
shit.
went to bark in his face, and he just bit me on my face. And
Oh,
like he got
hell.
like there was a massive gap between there for a while when I was young, and they were
Fuck,
like,
that's a
"Don't
smart
play with
thing
the
to do,
guard."
bro?
Yeah, and they don't play with the guard dog, and I was like, "What?" Yeah, then yeah, realized
Yeah.
yeah, but it's good. We're way different. We've never had any dairies in Zimbabwe. We have like little tuck shops, but tuck shops are like attached to your house on the street,
Yeah.
so people can walk up on the street, grab something, and then just carry on walking.
Yeah.
um, everything was corrupt. I think when we
Mm.
when we crossed the border from Zimbabwe to South Africa, we had to pay the border patrol people money so we don't miss the bus because the bus will leave whether you're on it or not.
Yeah.
It's like if you're not on it, you're out.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it was rough, man. It was, and like there's heaps of I suppose you could call them farmers markets, but they're really dodgy. When you like,
Yeah.
so you always pay with cash. There was barely any airpods,
Mm.
you know, and there used to be the street kids. I don't. There's definitely not street kids in New Zealand, but there used to be street kids in Zimbabwe, and they'd hustle you so much that they'd make you pay attention to your driver's door, and then there's another street kid on your passenger door taking shit out of your car.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have to have everything locked. You had to, like
Cunning.
at night. Yeah, at night you couldn't stop at a stoplight. You had to drive when it's safe.
True. What,
Yeah,
just because, like, just in case someone came in and tried to, like, take your shit or take your car
yeah.
or.
So yeah. So there's this one time me and my cousin we went to do some shopping for my auntie, and we were riding our bikes, and then these four grown dudes, and like I think I was 9, but they looked like giants. But because I was 9,
Yeah.
they're probably like 5 or something, yeah.
Yeah.
And they went to my cousin. He was just a bit in front of me. They went to him. He grabbed his handlebars. They pushed him off, and they took off with the bike.
Fucking hell. Daylight robbery.
And then yeah, they like not even like of the street, as in the traffic stopped, and no one did anything. They were just oh well.
That's just life, bro. It's
Yeah,
just life over
that's what
there,
it is.
eh?
Yeah. This is pretty much you need to learn certain things. Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's all good. I mean, like, the wildlife is not that crazy, especially in like central places. It's not as crazy as people think. Or you might get some poisonous snakes and scorpions, but other than
Yeah.
that, there's
Yeah.
barely anything.
You probably would have seen some pretty rough stuff happen over there while you're pretty young, eh?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like when back in the day, there was like a massive fight between different. Would you call them what parliament groups? I guess you call them like Labour and
Like politics.
National.
Mm.
Yeah, but they didn't do it. They fought on the streets, as in the politicians fought on the street.
What? No way.
Yeah, what they got. Yeah, and so that's why they made us leave, because that's why my mum and my uncle decided to leave, because we were staying in a nice neighborhood. It was like really good, but
Mm.
yeah, all the violence and stuff from the town.
Yeah.
Yeah, like bombs going off, guns getting fired,
Mm. Yeah.
and like
And then that shit would stick with you for ages, eh?
I got I have a mark on my thigh, and it's like an indent, and that's from like a
Yeah.
bullet just going through my thigh.
Straight up.
And so I can put like my index finger like that much into my thigh.
Fuck.
That's just there's nothing there.
Well, how old were you when that happened? Was it just like wrong place, wrong time, or?
Yeah, wrong place, wrong time. And I thought it was just I thought I just cut myself, but then we got home and my whole leg was just like bloody, and I was like, oh yeah. I didn't realize. I just thought it was a cut, and I always thought it was a cut for ages. And then mum told me, and I was like, oh yep.
Oh, so it was like kind of like a bullet like skimmed past you kind of thing.
Yeah. Like no one was shooting at me or anything like that.
Yeah. That's what you think anyway, yeah. Nah.
Yeah. I hope so. I hope so, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm planning on going back. Yeah, but Evanston, we have so like racism was pretty bad then, I guess,
Mm,
in the
mm.
like early 90s. Like, you stayed with, so I'm classed as a colored.
Yeah.
I'm not classed as black, but I'm not classed as white. So I have to I have to watch the neighborhoods that I like used to play in and ride along.
Yeah,
They used to like we're back when we were young. We were set in stone. You can't go to this neighborhood or else you
yeah.
will die. And I was
Well,
like,
is
oh,
it
okay.
like are the colours like the so-called light skins? Eh?
Yeah, yeah. So technically, I'm light skinned in Africa, in Zimbabwe. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it was. I don't know what. I don't know how it's changed now, but yeah,
yeah.
it was pretty rough. I remember one time we rode past this black neighborhood, and it was me and my cousins, and just carried on. We weren't starting any trouble, just riding. Then the black kids started throwing rocks at us, and not like small, like big rocks, bro. They were throwing like
Yeah.
massive rocks at us, trying like trying to hit us off our bikes.
Just because you
And we're
guys
like,
were
oh,
light
oh,
skinned.
yeah, just in the wrong neighborhood.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, yeah.
Like you would have learnt a lot of things then, eh? From a young
Yeah, yeah,
age being there.
yeah. Especially don't go to the wrong neighborhood, man. Yeah, don't
Yeah,
go to the wrong neighborhood. You'd always be ready to run.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, like it was the same. Like the cops were corrupt, so
Mm,
they'd never help you unless you had
yeah.
money. They would never help you. I remember my uncle got run over. We brought him to the house, and the cops took 2 hours or something hours to get there,
Fucking hell.
just because. Yeah, it was rough, man.
Just because that's just how it is. Is that just the standard time? 2 hours?
Yeah, I think unless you super rich and you have private security, like
Mm,
there's there's
yeah.
nothing, and you pay before you get to the hospital. Before you get
Fucking
treated,
hell.
you pay, and if you don't pay, you die on the bed and then you're dead.
Bruh, I'm
You
fucking
get
lucky
treated.
nothing happened to me while I was over there. Because I told you I went over to Africa when I was a bit younger.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, bro. So I ended up going to Kenya and Ethiopia when I was
Oh
15.
yeah, Kenya's bad, man.
Yeah, it was pretty, bro. Kenya was pretty bad, bro. Like compared to Ethiopia, and like you know what you were saying about the fences, bro.
Yeah,
Like in Kenya, like I noticed the 12-foot fences to the normal houses, but instead of barbed wire, bro, they just had heaps of broken glass shards like sticking up
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. You get that heaps, bro.
I was
Yeah,
like, what the fuck?
and like so the barbed wires are like the families that have better-ish money, I guess you could say,
Mm,
to do that. And
mm,
then all like the poor people. So the glass shards, they did that themselves.
yeah, yeah,
So no, like yeah,
yeah.
it's rough. And we been like, I think we used to as I think as kids everyone climbs trees, but our trees were like massive. And so we used to climb the tree and then jump on the fence and like do like hopscotch in between the wires. That was just stupid, but
Yeah, it was fun.
yeah, it was fun. It was definitely fun and then I fell and I got like a cut from my Achilles up to my thigh, but luckily it wasn't deep enough. But yeah, I still have the scar, and it like just goes all the way up.
Fucking
I
hell.
was like lucky I did not.
Yeah. How do you
Yeah,
find like the transition into like the New Zealand schools and stuff, bro? Because obviously you would have been like a foreigner, and you would have had like an accent and stuff like that, and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you probably would have found it a
Oh
little bit harder than like a standard New Zealand kid coming into a New Zealand school.
yeah, I think when I started intermediate, everyone honestly thought I was Indian, and I was like, oh yeah, and then there's all these they they're just young, stupid, they're all
Yeah,
teasing. It's
yeah,
basically bullying, pretty
yeah,
much. Yeah,
yeah,
your
yeah.
accent, blah blah blah,
Well, it is
Go
bullying, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And then you go back to your country while stuff like that.
Yeah,
And I
but
was just like,
discriminated against.
yeah, yeah. And I'm like, oh, this is like it still happens to this day. Don't get me wrong, it
Yeah,
still happens now. But I just
yeah,
pass it on because I know.
mm,
Like now I'm
yeah,
an adult, I know. But
yeah.
back then it definitely hurt heaps, especially like to like there were certain kids that just got on my nerves, and I was like, man, I really,
Yeah.
really don't want to be here, type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had to make new friends. Like,
Yeah.
I think it started when in intermediate, year 7, straight away started like in a few months,
Mm.
and it just happened, and I never really had a best friend at that time, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And then this one dude, and he was also, I think he was Fijian Indian, and then he
Virginian.
the Fijian here, bro, and he came here and he helped me, and he's just like he's like, don't worry about it. This since primary, and I was like, what? So yeah, it just happens all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, that's crazy, man. Like,
Mm.
because like in Africa, like racism isn't. It's not crazy until you go to the wrong neighborhood, and then they're like, why are you here?
Yeah.
Like, where do you, like, where's your address? Even the police
Yeah.
will ask you where you're from.
Yeah.
Why are you here? And I'm just shopping, and they're like, show us your address.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
But
That
then coming over to New Zealand, it was just for no reason, you know?
it was just random ass kids, man. It just went from go.
Mm.
I was like, oh, okay.
Well, apart from like, like obviously the bullying and stuff really got to you, how do you find yourself dealing with like all the bullshit that kids were, I guess projecting onto you?
Oh, it was weird, man. So everyone, so I guess nowadays and age everyone swears, but like
Mm.
when I came, no kid used to swear from Africa at all. So you couldn't say
Yeah.
shit, bitch, blah blah blah. You couldn't say
Yeah.
anything like that. And then all I just hear is all these kids swearing. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, oh, are you not gonna go to the headmasters and get a hiding, or?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like, nah. And they never just say miss or missus. They just
Mm.
say it like the teacher's name, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, because I could just imagine, bro, that it would have been fucking pretty intense. Like, just being so young, only being 10, and then on top of like having to leave all your mates and shit in Zimbabwe, coming over here,
Yeah,
struggling to find and make mates because everyone's been a fucking bully. It would have fucking taken a
yeah,
toll on
yeah.
you.
It was rough. Yeah,
How'd
and
you get
like,
through it?
and legit, to be honest, I just found all the brown people. I just made all the friends with every single brown person I met. I made friends with,
Yeah,
and that was it. That was. Other than that, like, it was it was real. It was real nice, especially with I don't like the the islander culture and the Maori
mm,
culture were they're all inviting. They're not really
mm.
like you're different. So they're just
Yeah,
inviting and they're nice. You know,
yeah. So
I'm
did
not
you
trying to
take
rant.
two? So did you take two like the Polynesian and the Maori
Yeah.
boys? I guess. Because what school did you go to?
Oh, I went to an intermediate. I went to Ridgeview Intermediate in Auckland, West Auckland, bad
Yeah,
neighborhood. And then I went to Rutherford Intermediate in West Auckland as well, and that was a bad neighborhood as well. But
yeah,
so I made friends with all the darker skinned people, and then
yeah,
they came to the college as well.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
so most yeah. So I had friends in college, which was
yeah,
amazing. I wasn't like just
yeah.
random as but it was good. Yeah,
Oh, so you had like more of like a solid foundation coming into college.
yeah, yeah. But then all the close mates I met, I think two out of all of them came to the college. I had an Asian mate and I had an Asian Japanese mate and then a Filipino mate, and we were real close in intermediate. And those were the only two that came with me
Mm,
to the college. And there's heaps of like and
yeah,
then I think it started from there, and then you know as you do gangs, everyone wanted to join a gang in college. I suppose that happened to you as well.
yeah.
Everyone wanted to be a gangster, and yeah,
And especially being out west too,
and
bro.
yeah. If that was that other. you knew one of the gangs or you didn't, and if you got jumped, you got jumped. That was it. No,
Yeah,
you couldn't call anyone unless you knew a gang, you know,
yeah,
or you knew your friend's older brother, type of thing.
yeah.
That that was crazy to me. Thinking that like you'd start a fight and you're like, yeah, I'll fight you, and then the older brother jumps in and you're like, oh, I said I'd fight you, not your older brother, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, shit like that. Yeah, which is it was real crazy. I think, yeah, and
I
yeah,
guess like
but
it was probably you weren't too, I guess, familiar with the like because you were saying that obviously like when you came through you found that the Maori and the Polynesian um boys or whatever at the schools you tend to gravitate towards them a bit more, but you probably didn't
yeah,
understand that like they're
yeah,
also
yeah,
close as with their little brothers that anyone who touches them they're gonna fucking get it.
yeah. I did. Yeah, I didn't understand that as well. Yeah, and then one day I was in like athletics. I was in year 9, and I knew this dude's younger brother, and this dude was like full on bullying me, pushing me against the wall. And this dude, the older brother, just came up and pushed him away and was like, "Leave him alone." I was like, "Hey, I know your younger
Dude.
brother, man." And I was like, "Shocked, bro. Thank you." You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, just carried from there. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Obviously you can tell that the first few years of your life, leading up into like I guess adulthood was, pretty fucking pretty hectic, bro. You ran into a few problems along your way there.
Yeah,
Was there
yeah,
any
exactly.
other sort of hectic things that happened throughout your life that you could probably share?
I mean, I think the first most racist thing that I think the most racist thing that I've ever had was this dude in like I think his parents brought him up like a dickhead or something. But we had an argument, and then he tried to start a fight, and like as you're young, you're like
Mm,
I ain't stepping down to no one type of thing,
mm.
let's go. And then he said a whole bunch of racist shit, and then pushed him against the wall, and then he had one of the crafting knives, and he put it against my throat. And
Fuck.
right then and there, he was ready
Fucking
to
hell.
like in my mind, right there, he was ready to kill me.
Yeah,
And then a whole bunch of people jumped in and like stop, but like not even his friends as well as my friends like jumped in. They're like, "What are you doing? Like that's crazy."
yeah, yeah. How did
And
that
then
affect you, bro? That's pretty fucking intense, eh?
yeah, but I was like, because before he did that, he was saying a whole bunch of racist shit, and I was
Mm,
like, dude, what have I done like to you individually to make
mm,
you feel this way? Like I don't just because I'm a different skin color doesn't mean that you have to
mm.
try and kill me.
Yeah,
And yeah, he just yeah. Luckily they did it because
yeah.
yeah. But I think
But I'd
that's
say like quite a few kids probably go through, the whole bullying and stuff like that due to, being either foreign or just being a darker skin complexion than others.
yeah, bro.
So
So
like
like
it'll be good for people to see that, like that there is other people that go through the same shit that they're going through, with the whole bullying and getting bullied and to the extent too, because like that's pretty far, bro. Like it's one thing to like just
yeah,
punch a dude in the face, but to like hold a Stanley knife against your neck, bro, is
yeah,
pretty next
exactly,
level.
bro. Yeah, I was like, what? Yeah, that's at that time point. That thing I realized like some people are like really either racistly crazy or they're just
Mm,
crazy.
yeah,
And then at that time point, then I was just like chill, like
yeah,
I mean, you might find someone that's super racist and you start a fight with him, and then they just bring out a knife, stab you to death, and then that's it.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah. Oh
then
fuck, bro.
your mother has to mourn you because you were too or like too egotistical to like be like just walk away type of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's a
you're right.
good
It was
thing to
just
bring up
dumb.
though, is like you were trying to say earlier, obviously it would have been something to do with his parents, and the way that they brought him up
Yeah,
to
yeah,
allow him to think that that behavior is normal.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, saying yeah, because I've like even when before that happened, I've had heaps of white friends, so I don't understand
Mm,
why. I never understood why he did it,
mm.
and then later on you'd figure out like you know Aryan race and like so I assume they were like really hearty into that. I guess
Yeah,
I don't know, but yeah, that was a really probably one of my scariest moments.
yeah.
Definitely, like
And how
and
did
like when
that
he
affect you later on? Like
well
down the
that
track,
now
like
like oh now like I'm real iffy. Well, I was real iffy about jumping into fight because
mm,
I'm like that dude might have a knife. This is it. Like
mm,
so
mm,
you're either in it to win it or you're not. Like you choose,
mm.
you know. Or
Yeah,
like if they say something stupid that you can walk away with, and that's okay. But if they don't,
yeah,
you have to be in it to win it, and that's it. Like
yeah.
that's you know.
But it's always better to, just walk away from the situation because, like you said, like you don't even know what you did to even, entice
Yeah,
this dude to do something like that apart from just walk around being, Kev.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So yeah, I've definitely now. Now I try if I ever get into altercation, I'll try and like chill it out, or walk
Mm,
away or something, you
yeah.
know,
It's the
before
best thing
anything
to
happens.
do.
'Cause, yeah, it's that's why I don't understand. Like I understand everyone's young, ready to fight.
Mm,
They're that young persona that men have about needing to be the biggest
the
man,
man, the
you know.
toughest.
Yeah, and I'm like, bro, there's always gonna be someone bigger than you, tougher
Mm,
than you. Because I guarantee there'll be
mm.
a time in your life where there's a dude that'll knock you out with one punch and you're dead.
Yeah, yeah, bro, for sure. Fuck
You
yeah.
know.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just, I guess it's one of those things that, a lot of people have to take in as parents, I guess, or, parents who are watching, the podcast is that you really need to tune into what you're teaching your kids because ultimately,
Yeah.
if you're not teaching them the right morals or right ways to respect people, they're just gonna, think that
Yeah.
they can do
Exactly.
whatever they want and fucking hold blades to people's throats and dumb shit
Yeah.
like that. So it's got to
Yeah.
get to a point where, as parents, you need to take accountability for the actions that your kids, I guess, projecting out there.
Do. Yeah. Yeah. Especially now, like now day and age, like it's hard because the internet is everywhere, man. Like
Hmm.
there's nothing you can do with like if you give your kid a phone, they'll find anything
Yeah.
on a like they'll search
Yeah.
and find it. And if they don't find
Hmm.
it, they'll find a way to find it. Like that's it's starting to get hard with technology
Yeah.
and like given a kid a phone at an early age, just like the information that he'll get is too much for their mindset. I guess you
Yeah.
could say.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. No, I fully get that, bro. I fully get that.
Yeah,
Cause yeah, like I've never sort of really thought about it like that, but just what you said about your kid having a phone or having, I guess, that much power in the palm of their hands that they're not
yeah,
even actually at an age where they're able to comprehend the power or the information coming out of the power that they're holding. So yeah,
yeah.
bro, that's
They they
definitely
can
something to think about, eh? Food for thought, bro, for some parents out there.
yeah they can do a lot, man. They can do a lot with the phone.
Mm,
It's like crazy.
yeah,
Like you could it's real hard to explain. But I hope heaps of people like especially parents think about it. How they give their kids a phone or
device in general.
hopefully there might be an app that help you block certain things, but can you block everything though?
Mm,
Or
mm,
because you always find a way. Because I guarantee when we were younger, we always used to find a way to like gone mini clips. Remember mini clips?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, fuck
The
yeah.
games. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
bro.
know, we always find a way to do it. We always find a way to do it. They always find a way to get on the internet. So
Yeah, yeah,
you
definitely.
know, it's real
and
rough
then
with
and
that.
it
But
sort of exposes them to, like, all that dangerous shit, and it's easily accessible to watch videos of people bullying other kids, like we see all the time on the internet, bro. It's like
yeah,
on Facebook and stuff. You'll see
yeah,
videos of,
yeah,
like, 5, 6 kids picking on, like, a couple Asian kids, and you just get racked up and you're like,
yeah,
what the but then, a kid watching it is
yeah,
probably looking at these other kids pick on these kids and see how much fun they're having or something, and they're like, oh, well, fuck. And then they'll probably start picking up those habits of going around
yeah.
and
Might as well do it.
picking on
Yeah,
kids and recording
yeah,
it.
yeah. Or even like teams, like school teams, where you watch like certain teams, like rugby or soccer, and the teams fight each other,
Mm,
but they
mm,
never say like the consequences of what happens. They just show the fight itself,
yeah,
and you're like, why? Just show what the consequences, because they'll get ticketed like thousands of dollars.
yeah,
But you never show that, do you? You only show like
yeah,
the fighting, and like that's I don't like
yeah.
that's a
Misleading, eh? It's quite misleading to the youth.
yeah, yeah. Because heaps like especially on the internet, there's definitely misleading things that like society should fix.
Yeah. And I feel like the internet contributes to a lot of, I guess, the depression and the suicides and stuff, is because, like when you're on Instagram and on Facebook and stuff like this, especially being at such a young age, you'll have these kids who don't have too much, who are going through some rough times, and then they're having to watch these kids who are living like the best lives and having a good time, and then it makes them feel down, and I guess down about themselves, because now they're having to watch other people live this life that they're dreaming of.
So I have a massive view on depression and anxiety and suicide is something New Zealand is lacking to support.
Mm,
I
yeah,
think it's probably one of the like easily one of the last leading countries to support workers in certain industries that kill themselves type of
yeah,
thing. I'm on a chef page in like a Aussie and New Zealand chef page.
mm,
Every day someone was putting a post up of someone committing suicide. Every single day for the whole of the lockdown for 4 months.
fucking hell.
And I was like, what? And I was like, what is going on? And I
Yeah,
learned that hospitality is one of the most career like the top I think the top 15 most careers
yeah,
that you could people kill themselves on, or
yeah.
and the top
Yeah, so
five
like
of
they're one of the highest careers that hold like the highest
yeah,
suicide decibel, or whatever you want to call it.
yeah. And I was like,
What do you
that's
think that
crazy,
is?
man.
Because
Well, I think
you being a chef
it's
yourself, obviously, along
yeah,
your journey of being a chef, you would have faced a lot of things, in your 10, 11 years of being a chef. What do you think it is that contributes to, chefs and front of house kitchen people, ultimately committing suicide?
I think that it helps it definitely it's just the pressure. I think even if you pay
Mm,
someone the highest and like even if you pay someone in New Zealand $50 an hour and you can only put through 30 meals every 10 minutes and you have a group of 300 that walk in, the pressure that you have is too insane to cope with the kitchen, and then you mentally have to like just be stuck in it for like 2 hours. But like that's
yeah.
mentally like not even thinking about yourself, not even thinking about your
Yeah.
health or anything. You just think about what you need to do. You need to go this, you need to do that, you need to. As me as a
Mm,
chef, I'm like, the food needs to come out. That's quick. That's it.
yeah.
But that's not the. I feel in hospitality. That's not the thing that we want. The persona that we want. We want it. good food.
Mm.
I don't care how long it takes. Just good
Mm.
food. But everyone that comes in, they're like, my food's 45 minutes. You know?
Mm.
And I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
you asked for a chicken. Like, do you know how long it takes to chew a chicken? Do you know how long your docket is before you know? I
Yeah.
said, yeah,
Yeah.
but no one understands that, and that pressure that especially hospitality has,
Mm.
especially in drinks. Like, imagine if you ask for like 10 martinis, you think you're
Yeah.
definitely not going to get it in 5 minutes.
Nah.
You know, so don't you? I think people don't realize how much it takes to do certain things in hospitality.
Mm. Yeah.
In my in
Yeah.
my in my eyes, you know, I've been here for like a year and a half. I'm the top 30 restaurants in Hamilton, and I do it in a completely different way than anyone else does it. I'm like, can you go on this? And they're like, no. And I was like, how long do you need? Like, we need this
Yeah.
long. And I'm like, okay, can you promise me you need this long? Yeah. And then they do it, and we do it
Yeah.
well. And we've been doing it for we did it for you last year. We did almost each day we almost did 10K.
Fuck. That's pretty good,
It's
bro.
just, but like it's just that persona that everyone has
Mm.
as being a chef, Gordon
Mm.
Ramsay and shit like that. You need to be aggressive, like.
Dude, because like I feel like you're bringing up some good points there. Do you want to sort of just go into depth a little bit about what you guys sort of changed or what you changed when you came into this new position that you feel like other restaurants would be able to benefit from? You know, to like I guess calm things down and make it not so hectic in the kitchen.
So so the business has been around for quite a bit of time. I think like almost 10 years.
Mm.
I think, yeah. And um so the business like the business wasn't really working with staff. You have a high turnover of staff,
Mm.
and then just after I came, we realized how high over like the turnover of the staff was. We hired a HR person, and then they decided to do a survey, and then we realized that so we had a reset meeting, and then the meeting everyone just brought up whatever we needed to bring up, as in like the back of house, the front of house, what we want as an employee type of thing.
Mm.
And it changed because his business is like multi-million type of thing.
Yeah.
So he has enough money to like change the whole structure to make more money.
Yeah.
And then we had a reset meeting, and I think one of the best things that we did was we need to look more onto mental health than anything else type of thing.
Yeah.
So like if you work 2 12-hour days and you work the next day, you're getting not a pay rise, so like a bonus, I suppose,
Yeah.
like a $50
Yeah.
bonus or something like that, you know.
Mm.
And so like and that is brought up, and my in the kitchen I don't let anyone work over 50 hours, and if other than myself. So if they work 50 hours, and then they'll get the next 3 days off, no matter what,
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
type of thing. So it's more looking after mental health, as in like if I had work tomorrow and I went into
Mm.
work tomorrow, and then I was like, I just don't know if I'm mentally capable to work, and they're like,
Yeah.
okay, you can go home, no questions asked. It was just
Yeah.
that's that's what I want the kitchen to be.
Yeah.
That's what I hope. That's what I wanted. Yeah. So I proposed it to him, and he said it was okay, which is good, which is actually amazing because
And seeing
it's
positive
the first
results.
bonus burner. Yeah, like I have people that want more hours. I have people that will come into a shift an hour before just because
Yeah.
they just want to come hang out.
Yeah.
He wanted the business to you come in to work, but you want to come into work. You don't want to just come in
Mm.
and make money.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have fun.
Yeah.
Can't afford a meal. We'll just make a meal for you for free. Like things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
50% off everything. um, we have if you do a straight, you get a free meal and a Red Bull.
Mm. Yeah.
It's like it's small things like that, and then, like especially I don't yell. I think you've known that I don't yell.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
yell in
Yeah.
the kitchen at all.
Yeah.
And heaps of my old chefs used to yell. So I've kept that thing. I don't yell at all.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
talk to you.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey man, you're doing
Understanding.
this wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you change it a bit, please? And then after that, then we might have a problem.
Yeah.
And every staff that I've had in this kitchen have done it so well
Yeah.
that I don't need to yell. Why
Mm.
don't I need to throw a pan or do any stupid shit like what they did?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And like, yeah, it's hard to explain, but like, it's worked well for me. You know,
Yeah.
what?
I really respect that, bro. Like a good sort of routine or good thing to implement into the workplace because, like you said, like it probably wouldn't even be in just the chefing industry, in all industries. I'd say that we could all probably benefit from our bosses taking mental health a bit more serious and not being
Yeah,
so money hungry and just wanting to be rich and actually worry about, you know, I guess your boys or your girls that are working for you because at the end of the day, those are the people that are bringing in your bread and butter, making sure that you're able to feed your family, build your family a new house or whatever. So I think a lot of things that you've just said, bro, is some real good points that I think a lot of businesses should be implementing into their workplace.
I feel like mental health should be different from sick days. That's what I said
Yeah,
in that reset meeting. He was like, yes. I was like, so he was like, agreed. We can have 3 mental health days and then the
the
sick days.
normal. Mm,
Yeah, and I'm like, I was like, not thank you for me, but thank you for everyone else because there'll be a
mm,
time when you have shit with your family and you're like really just stressed out and you just don't want to go.
mm,
You just want to
yeah,
chill. And
yeah.
then he's like, that's okay. And like
That's
that's
fucking
that.
mean, bro.
I think yeah, I think that's what every single business needs,
Mm,
especially if it's high intensity, high stress level shit.
yeah,
It
yeah.
needs that.
The higher the maybe the higher the stress and intense levels, maybe the more days you get for mental
Yeah,
health. But that's
yeah,
fucking mean as, bro. That's
yeah.
such a good point to bring up because, bro, like I've
Because
never heard of any sort of companies doing that, bro. I've worked for many companies, and I've worked for a whole lot of different types. I've worked in fucking on a farm. I've worked in hospo with you at Snow Planet. I've worked in boating industries. I've worked on an orchard. I've worked in fucking sharing sheds. I've worked in all these
but yeah,
completely different line of work, but I've never heard anything like that.
my understand like my thing is no managers do that because unfortunately they brought in as managers. They don't work up from the company. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As in Snowplanet, if I worked up in Snowplanet, I became head chef at Snowplanet. That's the thing that I'd want to implement the most.
Mm.
That's always been my thing
Yeah.
from day one. It was like we need mental days.
Mm.
We need something to look after. Just our minus our health,
Yeah.
but like our mental health.
Yeah.
And I think that every company in New Zealand should have it. Australia has
Mm.
subsidized 30 hours of going to see a psychologist. It's like, why is New Zealand not doing that? New Zealand, no, I don't know if no New Zealand company is actually doing it, but like
Oh, I don't know.
every single kitchen I've worked at, they don't really look after your mental health.
And that's a valuable lesson that a lot of companies could take away from what you just said, bro. Is like, in order for you to have a proper, solid, functioning team who actually want to be at work, like you said that they do, obviously a lot of people think that mental health is a big thing that we need to deal with, but like you've been saying, none of our industries want to deal with the fact that people wanting days
Yeah,
off for mental health. So I feel like, of people who own businesses and stuff like that, implement, stuff like this, it's going to make people,
yeah.
a lot more eager to get into it. And, it's ultimately like your boss, it's probably helped him, a lot more than he probably expected.
Thing is, if he wasn't gonna accept it, I was gonna leave. I was gonna be like, nah. Like, if you can't accept the fact that we work 12 hours a day, it's 5 days a week,
Mm,
like that's crazy. And then we
yeah.
don't get to see our family, so we just need one
Mm,
mental day. You can
yeah.
just chill and like, yes, and like try it. Just try it. Like,
Mm,
just try. And if it doesn't work, then change it. Just
yeah.
try something different than what we've been doing for so many years.
Yeah.
I hurt my hand.
Mm,
So when I hurt my hand, I burnt it
yeah.
pretty bad.
Let's dive into that a little bit because
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by the story behind it.
It was bad, bro. So it was real busy night, understaffed. I think, yeah, definitely understaffed. I was in the front line, and then one chef put a pan with hot oil on top of the rails where the pans stay, where the empty pans stay, but he never
Ah,
said anything.
fuck.
So I grabbed it and I was gonna put the chicken main on it, and then it tilted, and then the oil just went down. Yeah, and then but like the thing that hurt me the most was my mentality of don't don't move. This is your job. This is what you have to do. Do it.
Mm,
Type of thing.
yeah.
It was like you can't leave. You will not leave. This is what you have to do. And
Fuck.
and but that was it. Remember, like that was it. If you leave the line, you die. That's it. And then yeah,
Yeah.
and you proceeded from the I put I asked the kitchen hand to get a big 4 liter bucket so I can put my hand in with
Yeah.
ice and water, and he's like, "Yep." I did it. I strapped it around my body. I was like one handed for like 10 minutes, 10, yeah, 10, 15. I don't know which one it was, but carried on cooking. Um, Afterwards, it's like it started tingling. I was like, "Oh, that's a bit weird." Took it out,
Mm,
and my hand was green. Drove myself to A&E, thinking it'd be okay.
fuck. Yeah.
They're just like, "There's nothing we can do. You pushed it for too long. We just have to put a bandage around it so you don't rip it, and then go from there." And then I went the
Fuck.
next day, and then as you saw, my hand was
Mm.
so all that nasty brown shit. They all had to peel it off, like physically peel it off. And I
I'll
guarantee you,
probably
bro,
chuck
that
a
was
picture in, just a quick snippet into the podcast, just so
yeah.
people can actually see the severity of it because it's pretty nasty, bro. How
Yeah.
did that
It was,
affect your mental health? Because you probably would have had to take some time off work for it, eh?
oh yeah, I did 3 months at the least, and then 3 months. They said 3 months, but I was like, do you know what? I'll just go back 2 months because that shift mentality that everyone
Yeah.
has is stupid, man. Like
Yeah.
that's what I get across. Like, don't like you hurt yourself. Don't go back,
Mm.
or like don't sacrifice your health
Mm.
for a job. It's like it's
Yeah.
unfair to you. It's unfair to your family. It's unfair to everyone.
Yeah.
Like so I went back. I wasn't fully healed. I cracked it again, and they said it a crack. They cracked it again, and then I went back and they had to peel the skin off again. They
Oh.
had to put little bandages on, and then they're like, at this time point, they're like, if you they pretty much said if you carried on for another few days, you'd have lost every single nerve in your hand, and you would not be able to cook.
Fuck. That would
And
have
I was
been a
like,
bit
"What do
of
you
a
mean?"
shock, bro.
Yeah, and like this, so they're like this the skin that I had on was more delicate than baby skin. So even if I cut myself, I'd have cut my nerve or my vein, and I'd be dead. Or I'd have
Fuck.
burnt my hand. I'd have burnt it to my vein and then gone. And I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And they're like, "Yeah."
That's
It was
intense,
all
bro.
because of that. Yeah, that mentality of being a chef. You need to always
Mm,
be there, just always there.
mm,
Yeah, and yeah, and then they said they should have done a skin graft and like put more skin on it, but they didn't realize. Think that I was that stupid to go back to work early.
yeah. And
Yeah,
how did
because I'm
that
like,
2 months of recovery affect you, bro?
oh, so it was. So when it first started, I was like, oh, okay, I'll be back in like a month. You know, they never really said how long it would like take to heal.
Yeah,
So they had to peel my skin off at the hospital, and then they had to get the specialist from Auckland to come to Hamilton to have a look and shit like that. And then I think he saw it and he was like, "We'll just peel it off for now, and then go from there." And I was like, oh, "Okay, so I can go back to work." And he was like, "No, you're not going back anytime soon." I was like, "Okay, probably like a
yeah,
few weeks, eh? Come on." He was like,
yeah,
"Nah,
yeah,
a few months." And I was like, oh, "Okay, sweet." And then I did it, and they gave me a whole bunch of drugs, like really. It was really it like now thinking about it, it was pretty shitty drugs, but like
yeah,
I took them, and like
yeah.
I felt amazing for ages,
Mm,
and then I got addicted to them. I got addicted to I got addicted to codeine and tramadol, and then I just started like abusing it heaps because
yeah,
every day there was a nurse that used to come and then peel the dead skin off and then put another bandage on and then
yeah.
peel the dead skin off and then put another bandage on. Yeah, and I just was addicted to that for months. I think for like the last month I was addicted to it. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't do anything without it. Like even move, bro. I
True.
was like,
Yeah.
and like that was such a bad time in my life. I think that part made me so depressed. I think, and then like all the doctor's appointments, they're like, it was real hard, man. They're like, I don't know if you were able to cook again. I was like, what the hell do you mean? I was like, that's my whole
Mm,
life. I don't know what else to do. And they're like, we don't know if your nerves will be okay the same as they used to be.
fuck.
And I was like, what the fuck do you mean? They're like, we just don't know how bad the severity is of the burn.
Mm,
And I was like, Jesus. Because when you peel the skin off, he like touched my nerves. Like so I could see like the strains that go from your knuckle to your arm. I could
yeah.
see them. And like he was touching them. And I was like, I can't feel anything. He was bro, he was touching them like hard. I was like, I can't feel anything. And he's just like, we'll just go from there. And we'll just
yeah.
carry on. And then and then he he just said he was like, after a few weeks, he was like, I don't know if you'll be able to use your hand as much as you can used to use it. I was like,
Mm,
and I was like, what do you mean, bro? This is my life. This is my income. Like this is everything
yeah.
that I've worked for so long, you know?
Mm,
And I was like, this is before I became head chef. And I was like,
yeah.
I have goals that I need to meet in my personal life that I can't
Yeah.
not do this with this one fucking ad, man. And
Mm, mm,
it took by affect my hand. So I wasn't allowed to put on like excessive heat at all.
yeah.
I wasn't allowed to put it in the sun. I wasn't allowed to put it in
Like the
like
shower
excessive
and
heat.
shit.
But yeah, but I was stupid. So I went back to work and I was just putting it on fryers. And one day I woke up and my hand was like this, and then I just went like that, and then this whole pot just split. The whole thing just split, and it just started bleeding everywhere, and I was like, and that's when I got real depressed.
Yeah.
And then I knew that was it. I knew that was it. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
never going back. I'm never gonna do what I trained to
Mm.
do for how long, you know,
Yeah.
without any formal training, you know. I've
Mm.
built my life up to this much so I can become this person, you know, and then nothing.
Yeah.
They went there, and he was like, either you either choose to put on a heat resistant glove, or you don't cook on heat for a few months. I was like, that's
Yeah.
that's when I realized that I was going to work on tramadol and on
Shit.
codeine left, right, and center. I was tripping out at work. It was like I
Yeah.
think it was the lowest part of my life that I've ever been in. And it's because I was
Mm.
just at the back of my mind, I didn't want to think about the fact that I might not be able to do this anymore. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
just
So
gonna
it
try and do it.
distracted you for a second.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and do it. I'm gonna try, just because
Yeah.
that's the only thing you can hold on to life.
Mm.
Try and do it, and then after a while, I realized that I used my prescription 3 weeks before that I was supposed to get the next prescription.
Yeah.
The severity of it, and I don't. It's not. I'm not saying like the drugs that they give you are bad. Like it's just they're just really addictive, man. Like
Mm. Yeah.
they're so
There'd be so much
like bro.
people addicted to prescriptions.
Yeah, exactly. And like it happened. It happened to me, bro. And I was like, because I never thought I was like pills are nothing. I was like pills,
Yeah.
screw them, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Either in it's like other than like EMD and shit like that. Fuck them all.
Yeah.
But codeine, nothing, not addictive. And then I had it, bro. And then I was like, and then I had to stop and think. And I was like, my empty bottles were right next to me, and I was like sweating. And I was like, I can't sleep. And that's when
Mm.
I knew that I was like, yeah, I think that's when I knew, and I was like, nah.
But how'd you get yourself out of that sort of state?
I think let me think. I think the first step I took was throwing every prescription tablet away, like not even away, like in the drain. I don't know if you're allowed to
Yeah.
do that, but I did it. I threw all of them all away. Like not even. I'm talking about like Panadol, Nurofen. Threw them all away. I was like,
Yeah.
no, I can't. Just any pill that I can take, I'm just throwing away. Because they gave me,
Yeah.
bro. They gave me like I think at the start they gave me like 150 Nurofens, 150 Panadols, 50 morphine, and 50 tramadol or something like that. 3 times a day, bro. Sorry. And
Fuck.
like that was, but because at the start my hand was healing and I couldn't move my
Mm.
hand, so they're like, you just need to be like in a veg state. You just need to be a
Yeah.
vegetable the
Yeah.
whole day until it heals. And then I just got addicted to that. Like that's the only way that I
Yeah.
had to sleep. I had to take the tramadol and the Nurofen Panadol and the codeine, and then I'd sleep. And then I'd wake up and I'll have something to eat, and then I'll sleep again. And then I'll wake
Mm.
up and have the pills at like night. I think at like 7,
Yeah.
I'd have the night pills and I'd sleep. And then I'd wake up again, and that's what I'd do for the whole month or two. I don't
Yeah.
know how long it was.
Yeah.
It was so, man, like it felt like my whole life that's what I was doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, and then when I ran out because I was abusing it so bad.
Mm.
I was when it happened, I was like, shit, this is it. I was like,
Yeah.
this is, and like I knew my hand was sore, but I couldn't sleep without them. So I just went cold turkey, and then I, I think I sweated the most I've ever sweated in my life. I was like, my my sheet was wet. My duvet
Mm.
was wet. I had the biggest headache I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
I did like I almost
Yeah.
called mum and I just need some, please, just give me some. But I knew
Yeah.
that if I did that, then I'd seem like an addict, and then I just
Yeah.
waited it out,
Yeah.
you know.
How was it
And
dealing
like
with the withdrawals, eh?
it was bad, bro. It was bad. I, s- I probably I think maybe for the next few months I got them mood like just sweating and like feeling your hand. It's just yeah, it was bad, bro. Like
Yeah.
it was crazy, And then
Mm.
unfortunately,
Mm.
I I think on the second or third month, no, second month, I started drinking,
Yeah.
and then that's what they so you know you yeah that happened, and
Yeah.
that was bad, and then I just realized I was drinking a bottle of whiskey at night,
Sheesh.
like
Fuck.
not so not a night, like a whole day drinking a bottle of
Yeah.
whiskey,
Yeah.
just so I could
Yeah.
fall asleep, just to get that same feeling of like not feeling my hand.
Mm.
Then yeah, and it just carried on. It destroyed my job. I called in six heaps,
Yeah.
like just because I was hungover, and then
Mm. Mm.
and then and then my boss um stopped and talked to me, and he's just like, "Bro, can we talk about your drinking?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You you calling in sick this much, you know?"
Yeah.
And like he never, it wasn't like a warning. He was just like, talk to me like a friend,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, he literally sat down. And he was like, "Bro, like your drinking is this bad? Do you want
Mm.
help? Do you want to, you know, do you need something?" And
Mm.
that's when I realized, and I was like, "What do you mean?" And then it clicked to me when he started talking to me, not trying to
Yeah.
fire me. It just because he hasn't been through the same thing, but he used to use alcohol as like a
Escape.
vice to like, yeah,
Mm.
and like he brought up his own things. And I used to use that as this,
Yeah.
but now I use it as, so now I changed it to fitness. I go to PT sessions. It's like, I
Mm.
can help you if you need. And I'm like, fuck. And I was like, am I that bad? And like, for ages, bro, for ages, I
Yeah.
thought it was bad. For ages, I was like, I'm not that bad. Like, don't be an idiot. But then I
Mm.
started realizing, and I was, yeah, it's like, yeah, I honestly, definitely, alcohol is the most addictive drug
Yeah.
that I've had so far.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to just talk about
Yeah.
how you sort of went through a process to, I guess, like mending yourself or fixing yourself from that position that you were just in?
Oh, so like in the first lockdown that we had, I had a bottle of whiskey and like half a box of beer each day. So I have a box of beer. I have a bottle of whiskey and half a box of beer one day, and then
Yeah.
be hungover the next day, and then do it over and over and over. But then I was so badly addicted to it that I'd vomit everywhere,
Mm.
and then I'd be like, "That's okay. That's just being hungover," type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like now this lockdown, now I'm like, a box and a whiskey would last me almost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
That's good, bro. That's good that you're able to like,
but like
you're able to what's it called? Like you're able to, I guess, look at your first lockdown and see what you did wrong in that one, and then obviously change it in the second lockdown. To be more
yeah,
beneficial.
it's like my boss, which
Yeah.
is weird. Like is my boss.
Yeah.
I'm like, you pay my paychecks, you should fire me because I'm technically like a ex-alcoholic type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he wants to just continuously help me to
Mm.
be a better person.
Yeah.
Like To me, that's amazing. Like to me, sorry, I don't know anyone else, but like to me, that's a better boss that I've ever had in my life. Like that's
Yeah. Bro, you
like
deserve it,
he's
bro. You deserve it, I
yeah,
reckon. You're a fucking good dude, bro. You fucking crack me up and you're just a good dude to be around, bro. You deserve to have someone in your life like
yeah,
that who's able to build you up and help you to become the person that you want to be.
yeah. And I was like, man, and then he was like, you should jump on as well. Like, you should talk about what's happened. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that are like you that
Mm.
have been almost in the same type of situation like you. You should try and do it. And I
Yeah.
was like,
We should be putting all
yeah,
of
man,
our energy and all of our focus into helping the
that's
mental health side.
we're the most rate wise suicide. It's crazy. You
Bro,
think about
crazy.
it. That's insane.
And we're
Really.
small as fuck, bro.
Yeah. I'm like, how does that even what that's crazy. Like honestly, that's crazy to me. Like think
Yeah.
that there's what 1 in 10 people that will commit suicide that I meet, and I'm like, fuck,
Yeah, bro.
man,
It's crazy. Like,
suicide.
I've actually got some
Fuck,
fucking stats here that I wrote down last week,
oh
bro.
yeah,
Just to
yeah,
put into like perspective to why I think that the biggest pandemic we face as a nation is suicide is because if no one knows who OECD is, OECD is the Organization for Economic Cooperations and Development, which is just like a world organization that tallies up, like deaths for suicide, deaths for, just all types of, and then they compare them throughout all the countries. But
yeah,
their their research shows that New Zealand has the highest rate, aged 15 to 19, out of a list of 41 OECD and EU countries, bro. 41 countries, and we have the highest 15 to 19-year-old suicide rates. And we're 2 times higher than the US rate, and we're 5 times higher than the Britain rate of suicide. And it's fucking crazy, bro. Like you look at the likes of Britain, you look at the likes of America, and they're way bigger than us, bro. And how the fuck is it that we, as such a little country, have such a high suicide rate compared to these big countries, bro? I just don't get it.
that's rough. Just think about like that's real rough.
It's
Like
crazy, bro.
yeah, 24/7.
Yeah,
You
bro.
put my number on your thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
24/7. I answer any calls.
yeah, bro.
I'll talk about anything, bro.
Yeah,
I don't care. I just don't want people to lose their lives just because
yeah, bro. Yeah,
it breaks my heart to want
yeah,
people, especially young people,
yeah, bro.
just
Like I said, like in that stat, it's 15 to 19, bro. We have the highest suicide rate, 15 to 19, out of 41 countries, bro. That's crazy.
that's
That's
fucked up.
crazy, bro. That's so crazy, bro.
What am I? Why aren't the
And
schools
yeah,
doing anything? Why is it not,
no one's doing
Come on.
nothing, bro. But that's why we have to make a start now, and that's why we're here today. And this is why our paths have, crossed, and why we're in this position we are now. Because ultimately, it's got to start somewhere, bro. So we got to start with us.
Can I ask you a question before we go,
Yeah,
bro?
bro. Yeah.
Why did you do this?
Why did I do this?
I want to know why you did this yourself. Why why are you interviewing us? Like
Bro, I pretty much straight up, just being honest, I fucking just get sick of sitting there and just talking about our broken system and the fact that we lose people all the time. And I was just over just sitting in those conversations, bro. I was like, how much more conversations and more circles am I going to sit in before I actually start making a positive change myself, you know? And that's a lot of the reason why I wanted to do this. And um, the biggest reasons is like, throughout my life, I've lost a lot of people, bro. I've lost, siblings. I've lost friends to suicide. I've lost,
yeah,
nephews. I've lost nieces. I've got friends who have lost their parents to suicide. you know, and it's not for me and for my future, bro. It's in their name, you know. It's to make sure that their deaths don't go in vain, bro. You know, and
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that people know that a lot of us are out here and we're all struggling, and that we don't
Yeah.
need to go to the bottle or the news for advice. That we could just turn to our friends, our family, our sisters, our cousins, our brothers, our sisters, whatever. We can turn to other people apart from the news and the fucking bottle, bro. And I just wanted to just start
Yeah.
this up to bring light to the fact that we need to start making these changes now because we're running out of time, bro. And how long, like, how much longer are people willing to sit aside before their son commits suicide or their father commits suicide or their daughter or their girlfriend or their boyfriend, bro? Like, how much people do got to lose before we actually start making changes? And that's the reason why I wanted to get into this, bro. Is because I've been so affected by it that I just can't sit back anymore and just let life be taken away from us like they are.
That's that kind of take the clips from that. That should be your intro. That moment of you right now. No, too. That moment of you being so inspirational that I'll jump
Mm,
off my seat and run is what makes this different.
sure, bro. I appreciate that.
So
Hard
I
out, bro.
think you should take that, man. Like that inspiration, that shit that you were saying was from the heart, and I guarantee you, man.
Mm,
Not many people's podcasts are from the heart, but like that shit, you should
mm.
keep and hold on until the end, and I guarantee you it'll make you famous.
Yeah, bro. And like that's the thing about this is because I've had multiple people ask me like, oh, you know, like don't worry about the views, bro. Don't worry about the likes on the post. And like what they need to understand is that I'm not in this for the likes or the views or the post, bro. I couldn't give a fuck if one person watched this or 100 people watch this. It's the fact that it's the cause, bro. It's the cause behind it. It's the fact that I'm doing this because I know that it's going to bring positivity into the world, bro, and it's going to
This
help a lot of people out, you know. So the final question that I ask everyone is, what is your final message?
this is the only life you live. Don't live in fear. Don't live in pain. Live your life. No matter what, you
Yeah.
have one chance to be amazing. Be
Mm,
amazing.
mm,
And I guarantee you, you need help. There's always people to be there.
mm.
Who's there? To always help you.
Yeah, bro.
People on this casting will always help you.
Yeah, bro.
Anything you need, you can grab it. Just remember that
Yeah,
promise.
yeah.
One love.
Turn on the radio.